Pakistan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think an important point that you are raising is that while the West's strategy to fight radical Islam is to divide the Sunni Shiite, let them fight, and there is merit in making that happen. But the way they are doing it is to unify the Sunnis, which means essentially unifying the Wahhabis or empowering the Wahhabis. So they are unifying the Sunnis against the Shiite Iran. So the idea is to attack Iran with the help of other Muslims, one group of Muslims against other group of Muslims. So in this process, Pakistan gets the upper hand, being mostly Sunni, even though there is large amount of Shiite. So do you feel that this global Islamic Sunni versus Shiite, where Sunnis are given the upper hand because of Israel being more concerned about Iran and United States backing that, do you feel that this Western backing of Sunni against Shiite actually is the reason why they cannot just go after Pakistan and finish them off because it's a Sunni state?
That is precisely the point. In his campaign train rhetoric, President Donald Trump had often mentioned of the terror, network, and how he would take energetic, steps to destroy what he called Islamic terrorism. But however, in actual practice, what we have seen is that one of the first major foreign visits is to Saudi Arabia, which is the source of Wahhabism, which is the source of all the ideological support to terrorist activities all around the globe. The Iranian terrorism is, if you can call it that, is more focused on, the Hezbollah, is more focused towards Iran, is more focused towards gaining influence in the Middle East. They are not global on the scale that the Saudi-backed terrorism is. Who
Yeah.
did
So
9/11? The Saudis. And
right.
today they are being
So
rewarded.
right. So this is a point. So to understand Pakistan, we got to understand global Islam. And to understand global Islam, we cannot avoid the top issue of Sunni versus Shiite and the Wahhabi headquarters, the Wahhabi brain of the Sunni movement today in the Saudi hands. And therefore, when you look at it in that way, we have to take to task both Israel and United States, because in the Sunni versus Shiite fight, they are supporting the Sunnis far too much, and consolidating the Sunnis, and hence consolidating the Wahhabis. And Al Qaeda is a Sunni movement. ISIS is a
IS,
Sunni movement. ISIS is a
absolutely.
Sunni movement. So Pakistan is an extension of that. So they are doing all of this because they hate Iran far too much, and they're willing to pay whatever price in order to defeat Iran. So I think we have to put this topic also on the table.
Absolutely. Please see what is happening in the United Kingdom. Please see what is
Yes,
happening in Europe. They built
yes,
up the IS to dethrone Bashar al-Assad. And what has
right,
happened? Look at the blowback. This is just the
right,
start of the blowback. You see?
right,
So, when you know the consequences, Einstein said very rightly, madness is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. We've seen
right,
what has happened by supporting, for short-term tactical gains, Sunni extremism. You did it in Afghanistan. The Mujahideen, the Jihadi, was once the favorite of the CIA and the United States, and the Saudi Mukhabarat laid out the money, the dollars on the table. And what Pakistan is paying the consequences for that. Afghanistan, that poor nation state, has been destroyed virtually. Now they are trying to do it to Iran, and Pakistan has once again lent its territory for the destabilization of all its neighbors. How it affects us is that, once Pakistan becomes a part of the CIA Mukhabarat project, then pressure is put on India not to retaliate. After 26/11, quite obviously the Indian government was mulling some kind of retaliation. Well, that is the time pressure was put, oh, they are fighting our war in Afghanistan, and therefore leave them alone and we will tackle them. They did nothing to tackle them. What in effect it means to us is, look, Indian lives are not important. We couldn't care less how many Indian soldiers, citizens are killed by the Pakistani jihad against you. I mean, it doesn't suit us for you to take action against Pakistan. Now, I'm afraid the last Indian government, went entirely along. It gave primacy to American interests over Indian national interests. I am certain that the things will have to be different this time. India is not a small state. It is not a banana republic. We will push back. We will push back, and there will be consequences